TechTime Radio. Visit them online at techtimeradio.com.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, so you know what? We need people to start liking our social media pages.
As far as YouTube is concerned, we would like you to like it and subscribe to our podcast.
Yes, you know how you can find our YouTube page?
How?
You go to YouTube and just type in TechTime Radio.
That's it?
That's it. That's that simple.
Like and subscribe.
You need to visit us online also at Twitch. You know what our Twitch page is?
I imagine it's at TechTime Radio.
That's correct. If you just go to any twitch.tv and you look for TechTime Radio, we come on up as TechTime Radio. So visit us on Twitch, subscribe there because you can see the live feeds themselves. And guess what?
What?
We also have a page on X. Okay,
so what is that? At TechTime Radio?
That's at TechTime Radio or hashtag
TechTime Radio. The point is, if you like our show, like and subscribe to our social media. Okay, so I think that's pretty much covers it. Like and subscribe to our social media.
Like us today. We need you to like us.
Nathan doesn't get liked a lot at home, so he's begging for everybody.
Please like us. Please like us. That's right. Okay. Thank you, guys. Remember, TechTimeRadio.com.
TechTimeRadio.com.
All right.
Like us and subscribe.
Or subscribe and like us.
Broadcasting across the nation, from the East Coast to the West, keeping you up to date on technology, while enjoying a little whiskey on the side, with leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts, as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go, Technology News of the Week, the show for the everyday person, talking about technology, broadcasting across this nation with insightful segments on subjects. Weeks ahead of the mainstream media, we welcome our radio audience of 35 million listeners to an hour of insightful technology news. Each week, our show covers the weekly top technology subjects without a political agenda. We verify the facts, and we do it with a sense of humor in less than 60 minutes. And of course, with a little whiskey on the side. We are live streaming during our show on 5 of the most popular platforms, including YouTube, Twitch.tv, Twitter/X, Facebook, and LinkedIn. We encourage you to visit us online at techtimeradio.com and become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/TechTime Radio. I'm Nathan Mumm, your host, a technologist with over 30 years of technology expertise, working for Fortune 500 companies across the country. Today in studio, we have our co-host Mike Roday and Mark Gregoire, our whiskey tech time taster. Mike's an award-winning author, originally from Arizona. He is a human behavior expert living in the Seattle area with a master's degree in forensic psychology. Mike is here to keep me from geeking out while providing insight into human behavior and how it interacts with technology. Mark Gregoire, a whiskey connoisseur and our senior technical executive with a 30-year record of establishing technology solutions. He's a skilled whiskey drinker, black market whiskey distributor, and our go-to pick-of-the-day experts. We are friends from different backgrounds, but bring the best technology show possible every week for our family, friends, and fans to enjoy. Buckle up as our producer, Odie, is at the control panel. Let's start today's show.
Now on today's show.
Today on Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, we have much to discuss as CES, the biggest tech event of the year, is happening right now in Las Vegas. And we're going to give you a sneak peek of what's going on and what they are talking about and what is trending down there in Vegas. Then we have a 13-year-old.
Why aren't you there?
What's that?
Why aren't you there? You always go to CES.
Well, I always go to CES. Do you know who's down there right now covering the show for us? Phil Hennessy. So Phil is our Tech Time Radio reporter. He's going, doing a bunch of interviews. He's excited to be there as a part of Tech Time Radio. We have Tom Geiken down there also. So we got lots of people reporting back. I am going to be here in the studio and at the main station to see what's going on, read the stories, because I have to get ready for our best of the best for CES.
You're such a martyr, dude.
All right, you like that? There you go. So we're going to have to do a lot of work. So again, to get on the best of the best for CES, I look at the top 100 items that come out of CES, and then we whittle it down to about 20, interview each of them, and put the top 8 to 10 on
you're
the show.
usually down there at CES doing this stuff.
I am. You know, this year I missed off. I'll have to be there next year to go on back. Okay. All right. We're going to be talking about a 13-year-old who sets a record by beating one of the most unbeatable games ever. And we're going to be talking about engineers who developed a vibrating capsule that can help you fight obesity. Plus, we are going to discuss the Comcast hack that has exposed millions of our customers' data and the mysterious origins of Bitcoin. And a return of our gadget and guru, Gwen Way, for our first Gadget and Gear segment of 2024. In addition, of course, we have our standard features, including Mike's mesmerizing moment, the technology fail of the week, Comcast, and a possible Nathan nugget. So sit back, raise a glass, and welcome to TechTime Radio. As always, we have our pick of the day whiskey tastings during the commercials to see if our selected whiskey pick gets 0, 1, or 2 thumbs up at the end of the show. So sit back and enjoy TechTime Radio. Now it's time for the latest headlines in the world of technology.
Here are our top technology stories of the week.
All right, story number 1, CES, the Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas, starts today, runs through Friday, January 12th. What are we going to be looking at for the big trends this year? Well, we have Tom Geiken at CES with more on the story.
Starting today, the world's most influential tech event, CES, returns to Las Vegas, bringing together 4,000-plus exhibitors, including global brands and startups, industry professionals, and media and government leaders. The CES platform is all on for 2024. No other event in the world connects the full ecosystem of the tech industry like CES, said Gary Shapiro, President and CEO of Consumer Technology Association. CES 2024 will be the hub where business leaders meet, dream, and solve. I cannot wait for the upcoming episode, Best of the Best from CES. What happens in Vegas is all now recorded for Tech Time. Signing off, back to you in Seattle.
All right, so here we got 4 major themes for this year's show on the floor. Starting with, you guessed it, AI, your favorite subject here. Now, artificial intelligence will be front and center with applications that can improve healthcare, sustainability, productivity, and accessibility, and more. The key exhibitors in this area include Garmin, Intel, Qualcomm, and Walmart. Wow, you got Walmart coming up with AI. So they have
that's very disturbing.
So they have this 10,000 square foot setup that is all about how to do inventory control without humans running at CES. It's one of the biggest displays as everybody's talking about it. Essentially, it's how you can run a store all on AI and bots and never have humans interact with the customers themselves. So you could go down there.
That already happens anyway.
Okay,
you can go to Walmart and not interact with anybody.
Well, you look at the guy at the end waving at you, right? And then looking at your receipt and just putting that big yellow check mark in the middle, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. What are they going to do with those people that come in their pajamas and stuff?
Have you ever seen the Facebook pages, the people of Walmart?
They should have the people of Walmart AI edition.
There you go. All right. So number 2, we have human security for all. This is a big new catchword. It's called HS4A. So you're going to see that in all the shortcut words, and the power word of the year is going to be HS4A. CES will again partner with the United Nations Trust Fund for Humanity, Security, and World Academy of Arts and Science on the Human Security for All global campaign, showcasing how technology can solve the world's biggest challenges. Main exhibitors on this will be that's okay.
With all the hacks going on, I don't know how they're going to be doing it.
You got Abbott. Abbott is essentially the COVID-19 testing company that came out of nowhere, right? So they came out of this. So Abbott's a big part of that. AARP, Bosch. I don't know what the speakers are going to do with that, but okay. NASDAQ and Siemens. Then the third key pillar of CES 2024 is mobility, with 250 plus exhibitors from the automotive tech to self-driving electric vehicles and personality based mobility services. These are coming from
mobility.
Yep. So this comes from BMW, Honda, Kia, Mercedes, and Volkswagen. Sustainability. Companies will show how they're making a positive impact with innovations, accessibility for energy, food, tech, resilience, smart cities, clean water, and more. These exhibitors are Exker, HD Honda, Hyundai, John Deere, and Supernal. Now, let's just talk about a couple of these things. Kia, you know what Kia is used for, right?
No, what?
So what happens when you go down and you purchase a Kia car right now? So it's a vehicle right now.
I have no idea.
They're pretty much modular. They're modulars. Well, Kia now is coming up with electronic vans at CES that are essentially modular swappable bodies that can turn each of them into just about whatever you want. So this is like a Lego version and Transformer version of a car. You can build one that goes up 20 feet high. You can do one that goes wide to 18 feet. All of these are modular items you purchase, you put it into this base, you tighten it, and then you have yourself a car itself. So it's like literally you can buy the base model that's going to come on out for under $10,000, and you can continuously upgrade that into some super deluxe van without ever having to throw anything away. It just keeps on purchasing and purchasing and purchasing.
Okay.
Isn't that exciting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Well, okay. More things that'll make you excited. Walmart's showcasing, and we talked about that 10,000 square foot exhibit. Honda is introducing the Moto Compacto. The MOTO Compacto is essentially a compact folding portable electric mobility device that takes up almost 20% less space than a carry-on suitcase for your airplane. So you can now take with you this portable. It's like an older person's type of mobility deal.
How things are going, we won't need people anymore at all to do anything.
Okay, well, that's just kind of the headlines. Today is day one, so those are the headlines that we got right now.
That's what the AI is going to come up with.
Yeah, it's going to be very
figure
exciting.
that out, and that's how Judgment Day happens.
We will do a recap next week of all the great things at CES, and then we'll have our best of the best CES in the upcoming week. So there you go.
Okay.
Let's move to story number 2. This sounds exciting.
Oh, well.
I'm excited.
Are you?
I'm excited.
Have you played Tetris?
I do. I play Tetris every day.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Monday through Friday, every night. Before I leave work, I play this app called Kumo Space, and I play Tetris in there against coworkers every night. Yes.
Okay, well,
I'm not any good at it, but I do play it.
Okay, isn't Tetris like 35 years old now?
It's really old, yes.
So, a 13-year-old boy,
okay,
may have just become the first person ever,
yep,
to beat the Tetris game.
Wow. Okay.
Right?
Yeah. We saw the video. We saw the video on YouTube last night in our production meeting, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, in certain video games, usually the game beats a player and not the other way around. 13-year-old Willis Gibson of Oklahoma may have become the first person to ever have beaten the original Nintendo version of Tetris. This is the Game Boy version.
Okay.
Right?
Well, so it's unclear. I don't know if it's the Nintendo version or the Game Boy Color edition, but I guess since it's the original Nintendo version, maybe it's just the original Nintendo.
Didn't it just come out? Didn't Tetris come out on the Game Boy?
It did, and that was kind of like the big hit that it came with, and I just think it's the same port, so it's probably exactly the same game.
Yeah, so 34 years after Tetris was first released, Gibson advanced so far that the game could not keep up with him. At level 157, he reached the notorious kill screen, which is the point at which the game becomes unplayable because of limitations with the original programming. Took him less than 39 minutes to reach this kill screen.
Okay.
What happens here is that you get so far that the programmers that made the game, they never expected anybody to get that far, so they really didn't do anything after that.
So they didn't kind of completely QC test it. They just figured there's no one's
going to get here.
This far, we're fine.
Yeah, and the game starts breaking down until it finally just stops. Before this, allegedly, the only way to get to the kill screen was through AI.
Okay.
Your favorite thing.
A robot that would have to do it. Okay.
And that is the only thing that has thus far been attributed to reaching the end of this game. So in a video posted to his YouTube channel under the name Blue Scooty, Gibson can be seen saying, "Just please crash as the Tetris stacks fall faster and faster." Moments later, the screen freezes and then he collapses in triumph.
Yep.
In classic Tetris, players, stack differently shaped blocks as they fall. Players can rotate them in different directions, and they're trying to form solid lines, which gets deleted when the blocks form.
Okay.
If uncleared pieces reach the top of the screen, the game ends over time. So you pretty much know how to do it.
Yeah, so it keeps on filling up, and if you get to the top, you're over.
Yep. So Gibson said he was attracted to Tetris mainly because of its simplicity. He says it's easy to start playing and understand it, but very difficult to master it. Gibson has been playing in tournaments since 2021. In October, he was the youngest person to make it to the Classic Tetris World Championship, where he placed third. Now, I had no idea they even had these things going on.
I did not.
You haven't watched one of those tournaments?
No. Not a Tetris tournament,
no.
They are so entertaining.
Are they?
They really are. And watching people that have been playing the game since, Game Boy first came out with Tetris versus kids that are learning like Game Boys and all that from this generation, so entertaining.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, according to the Tetris company, over 520 million units of Tetris have been sold worldwide, making it one of the top-selling games of all times. Soviet software engineer Alexei Pajitnov created Tetris in 1985. It was released by Nintendo Entertainment System 4 years later. Gibson says he's been playing since he's 11 years old. Like, that was like 2 years ago.
So that was
that was way
a long
back
time
when.
ago. He's been playing for years. He's 13 and he started when he was 11.
He plays for 3 to 5 hours a day.
I don't know. You know what? I played for about 15 minutes to 20 minutes.
I'm thinking this kid has a lot more time on his hands than he should have.
Yeah, I don't know if I could play that 3 to 4 times a day. And I don't think it's that much of an exciting one-player experience.
I don't know. I used to play Asteroids for hours.
Okay.
On end
Yeah, I usually play Super Mario Brothers back down at the bowling alley, and you go there and you get your unlimited lives, and you can play on 1 quarter for like 3 hours.
Yeah. So I guess congratulations are in order for this kid.
You know what? He got to meet the creator of it. They did a Zoom meeting, and he got to talk with him, and he said how great he was. And so this actually essentially made Tetris now a top story again.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
There you go. All
Yay.
Right. Story number 3. Engineers develop a vibrating ingestible capsule that might help treat obesity. Let's go to Karen Westland for more on the story.
The secret diet pill or just another attempt to alter your weight? MIT engineers have designed an ingestible capsule that vibrates within the stomach, creating an illusory sense of fullness and reducing appetite. The pill could offer a minimally invasive, cost-effective way to treat obesity. Swallowing the device before a meal could create a sense of fullness, tricking the brain into thinking it's time to stop eating. Is this wonder pill safe? This is definitely something that makes me go,
All right, so when you eat a large meal, your stomach sends signals to your brain that create a feeling of fullness, which helps you realize when you should stop the eating time. A stomach fills with liquid before this is why people sometimes drink water before you eat, can help often in dietary processes to not necessarily gain as much weight. But now, MIT engineers have come up with a way to take advantage of the phenomenon of food in your stomach. Using an ingestible capsule that vibrates within the stomach. These vibrations activate the same stretch receptors that sense when the stomach is distended, creating a sense of fullness. When the stomach becomes distended, specialized cells sense the stretching and send signals to the brain via the vagus nerve, and the result is the brain's stimulus production of insulin, such as the hormones of C-peptide, pi, and GLP-1. In animals who are given this pill 20 minutes before eating, the researchers found that this treatment not only stimulated the release of hormones, but also reduces the animal's food intake by about 40%.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but if I have something vibrating in my stomach, I don't know if I want to eat something too.
You know what? The researchers show that once the pill begins vibrating, it activates and sends a signal to the brain, stimulating that essentially you are full. The researchers tracked hormone levels.
I think it's in something to your brain that there's something alive in your stomach that's trying to get out.
Well, the current version of the pill is designed to vibrate for about 30 minutes after arriving in the stomach. So you swallow this bad boy and it's going to go crazy for 30 minutes. Then it essentially passes through your digestive tract within 4 to 5 days.
Do you have to retrieve it afterwards and reuse it?
I don't know. The study also found that animals do not show any signs of obstructions, no negative impacts while the pill was in the digestive tract. Now, I don't understand how necessarily you're going to have that conversation with that dog or cat and say, hey, how you feeling? Snorky, and he's like, rah, 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 rah. Okay, he's feeling great.
If it goes in and comes out, then I think there's no obstruction. But, I can't wait for human use to see what happens because, Well,
such studies looks like they're going to go.
What happens when somebody wants to overdose on these things?
The studies they're trying to come up with a process where you could connect it to a Bluetooth device. So essentially you could keep it in there and you could activate it for different times and have it come on for each of your meals instead of just the actual digestion. You could actually turn it on with your phone.
Swallow it once and it stays in there?
And it stays in there for a while, and then you can activate it once a week. So
how does it stay in there?
I don't know. Well, the researchers plan to explore ways to scale up the manufacturing of these capsules, which can enable clinical trials in humans this year. The study is being essentially learn more about the device safety as well as determining the best time to swallow the capsule before a meal or how often you need to be administered to continue on this process. Now, hang on, though. We do crazy crap for diets, right? We go into people's stomachs and we put balloons in them. We go into people's stomachs and we tighten stuff.
This is just one more thing. Okay,
so instead of exercising, you can do all these little hacks, and now they found out a hack to put a pill in your stomach.
Let's put a vibrator in your stomach and trigger your vagus nerve to say, I'm not hungry anymore.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
so MIT just came out with it. It's breaking news. It's going to be. I guarantee you this will get press the next couple of weeks.
Oh, sure it will. I just have to wonder what scientist is hanging around saying, I wonder how we could enter the weight loss market.
You create a pill that bounces around.
Let's essentially give people jumping beans.
Yeah, that's exactly. Remember those jumping beans you used to get? They last for a while. You have an animal in there until the poor animal passes away.
I'm not real sure about this one. This one.
You're not excited? You're not jumping on the trials for this today?
Yeah, I won't be on the trials for this one.
All right. Well, that ends our top technology stories of the week. Moving on. Gwen Way is up with our first gadget of the year. You're listening to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. We'll be back after this commercial break.
This is Mark.
And Greg.
For Copiers Northwest.
With a terrific offer.
Called Printer Care Plus.
It's simple. Buy HP printer cartridges from Copiers Northwest and we'll service your current printers for free.
That sounds too good to be true.
It's made possible due to our HP Copiers Northwest relationship.
Copiers Northwest is an HP Platinum partner.
One of only 2 in the entire Northwest.
And now with Printer Care Plus,
Copiers Northwest will provide free printer service.
As long as they purchase genuine HP cartridges from Copiers Northwest.
That's right. IT departments no longer have to service printers.
Or fix paper jams with Printer Care Plus.
They can focus on more strategic initiatives.
And let our experienced technicians keep their HP printers up and running.
Sounds like a love-love relationship for IT departments.
Don't get too carried away. So how do they get more details on Printer Care Plus?
Call Copiers Northwest today, 206-282-1200, or visit copiersnw.com.
Copiers Northwest. New ideas, new solutions.
All right, welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. Tech Time's a weekly hour technology show that talks about current technology in a simple format without having to geek out, brought to you by myself and Mike Roday. We just had our first whiskey tasting during the break, and we have Mark in studio to tell us what we are sipping for.
Did you actually taste the whiskey? You guys were so busy talking about those little vibrating pills.
No, I tasted it.
All right.
It was good. It was actually really good.
I'll put that in my mouth.
All right. Okay. Well, today we are drinking Michter's 10-year Kentucky Straight Rye, the 2023 release. Okay. So from Michter's website, one of our most limited production items, Michter's 10-year single-barrel Kentucky Straight Rye continues the legacy of America's first whiskey variety, rye, from America's first whiskey company, Michter's, originally known as Shanks. It has deep notes of vanilla and toffee, toasted almonds and cinnamon, with an ample dose of crushed black pepper with a hint of orange citrus.
All right.
So this is from Michter's Distillery, which they're owned by Chatham Imports. It's an undisclosed distillery in Kentucky. It's a straight rye. It's actually 10 years old at least. They do say there may be some older in there also. 92.8 proof. Mash bill is undisclosed. It's considered a low rye.
Okay.
And the price of this bottle MSRP is $180. But you can find it online for about $350.
Wow.
Or you can get a black market.
or they call Mark Gregoire on the side and he can hook you up. No,
wait a minute. So I don't deal in black market.
No, okay.
Unlike my buddy next to me for technology on the dark web. We can go there if we want.
Okay, no. So everybody.
He's going to be the first one to get vibrating pills.
Yeah, Mark does not on the black market. But you do have a Facebook group that you guys swap with. And it's
we swap samples and stuff.
Private,
it's a private group that we are
All
discuss
whiskey people.
Yeah.
Now, was this bottle brand new, or was it pre-opened when you got it?
No, this is brand new.
Oh, wow. This is really good. This is really, really good.
Yeah, I have to say that my hate of rye has gone away, I think.
Especially if you buy really expensive rye.
Because I'm starting to like rye more and more the more I taste them. So
there you go.
But this is not a high rye, so it didn't have that rye burn.
Correct.
Yes.
And it's low proof too, so it doesn't have that extra burn there, but it goes in at a little lower proof into the barrels, so it develops a stronger intensity at the lower proof.
Yeah,
it's got a really good. It's got kind of like a smoky taste.
Got a really
And I love barbecuing with the smoke type of deal, and that smoky taste is very good.
All right. Well, thanks, gentlemen, and I'll be back for the mumbles. But if you're not listening on the radio, please do not forget to like and subscribe. In addition, feel free to add a comment.
There you go. That would be fantastic. Ask Mark about some whiskey stuff, or you can ask us, and then I can forward it to him. Or you can just send that to press at TechTimeRadio.com.
Nathan only knows what shelf they come off of.
The top shelf or the middle shelf or normally the bottom shelf at wine.
Nathan drinks
and
bottom
caps.
shelf.
All right, with our first whiskey tasting complete, let's move on to our feature segment today with Gwen Way joining the show. She's an expert in cybersecurity during the day and a game board geek in the evenings, producer of Tech Time Radio and our gadgets and gear gal. Let's get ready to start our Comcast video stream on our next segment, Gadgets and Gear.
What's new in our gadgets and gear?
All right, Gwen, welcome to the show.
Happy to be here.
Oh, so we're always great to have you here. Now, so before we talk about our gadget and gear, we had something that did not make so for people that don't know how we do our show, on Monday nights, pitch night, you come on in, you put in a bunch of links, we kind of pitch ideas on what stories we're going to do and what we're not going to do. And one of the stories you pitched last night didn't make it on our top stories, but it's essentially talking about electrical charges for cars, specifically in Europe. So can you talk just a little bit about that and kind of give us a little bit about what's going on?
Well, it's kind of exciting. So here in the United States, thanks to our friends at Tesla, there's been a big push at getting electric charging stations in multiple places, gas stations, Walmart parking lots, what have you. Europe doesn't necessarily have, however, the landmass to make that feasible. So they're looking at other solutions, one of which is just adding them into features that already are in the environment. For example, light poles. Well, you drive past light poles, they have electricity going to them, obviously. Why not just tap into that?
So it's a pretty cool.
Wait.
So it's a pretty cool.
So you just drive up to a light pole and plug in?
Yeah.
Or does it like a passive battery charger where you drive past it?
No. So you'd actually go on up. So it was a story that didn't quite make it, and they actually had these plugs that were in the sidewalks also. So for electric cars, so you'd actually go on up, and they have plenty of light posts in Europe. And the idea is to put in electrical chargers in the lamp posts that you have there, and you can pull your car up and you're ready to go. Or one of these units in the sidewalk that you put your cord into, and essentially it's just running the standard electricity that goes out there to now charge your vehicles.
It's basically using the electricity that's already in place.
I have some skepticism for that.
Okay, what's your skepticism? That surprises me.
I just see a lot of competition over parking now.
Yeah?
Because if they're trying to get to one of these light posts or one of these little sidewalk dealies, now you're going to have people fighting over.
Yeah, it could be only available for electric. It could be right up at the very front. I think the whole idea of this is they're going to be primo spots that will have these charging units, and there'll only be electrical vehicles that can park there.
You're going to have somebody who's just really enterprising and is going to double park and run a longer cord over to the thing and block traffic.
You'll get that, but I mean, honestly, you're going to get that regardless. Let's just take a look at it. Call a spade a spade. The other really cool thing about this, though, is not only is the electricity already there, but the infrastructure is already there as well. So rather than costing, $15,000, $20,000 per charger, you're looking at about $1,600 per unit.
That's a pretty cool idea. I was pretty. It didn't quite make our stories, but think of all the electricity that you have probably already pre-wired within the United States also. And if you go to stoplight, you can just go to stoplights. Have all that electricity in there. If you start taking that electrical,
you can't pull up to a crossroad and be like, "Hang on,
Well, you're not going to do that, but what if you pull over to the side of the road where they have electricity that's already running there and you can plug in? I thought it was pretty good. All right, well, Gwen, thank you for talking a little bit about that. It didn't quite make it, but there you go. Now let's move on, though, to why you are here, the most important aspects of what we got. And our gadgets and gear. We're going to talk about a device at the production pitch meeting, and oh boy, I think everyone needs one of these, especially on public transportation. What do we have on the docket today for our gadget and gear?
So this is a great thing. We're back to Kickstarter.
We're going back to Kickstarter.
Exactly. We got away from it for a bit so that people could purchase Christmas presents and things like that. But we're back to Kickstarter just for some fun new tech that we haven't really seen before.
Okay.
This particular thing is called the Skyted. That's SKYTED. And quite frankly, it reminds me of the old show Get Smart, where they had the cone of silence and you would just see this giant cone come down from the ceiling and nobody could hear outside of it. Instead of that, they've downsized it and it's just a mask. You strap the mask on and you can have conversations on your phone and nobody outside can hear.
All right, so we got to explain that because that was kind of tough for us at first because we were like, oh, this is like a mask idea. It wasn't. And then we started looking a little bit more into it. It's a mask that goes around your face, and it looks just like a standard. What do you say, COVID-19?
It doesn't. It looks like a blown up version of an N95.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Okay. Yeah. So it's a little bit larger than that. Or something that you
look
wear.
like a Cylon. Yeah.
And essentially, what it does is
I kept thinking everybody was calling it Skynet. So
that's what you kept on saying on the thing. So essentially, when you talk in this device, nobody can hear you.
Right. So this is actually created by somebody who came out of the airline industry.
Okay.
And he took a lot of the products that are used currently to keep the noise within a plane to a minimum and just kind of made it smaller and more personalized so that you can have conversations. You can conduct work meetings. You can talk to your loved ones in public without, number one, disturbing anybody, but number two, and more importantly, in my opinion, keep from giving data away to people around you.
So you talk on this. So that would be really great.
I don't know. I think somebody just got irritated with listening to everybody's phone call.
Yeah, I mean, is that annoying? Well, why do people in these public spaces they put their phone on speakerphone? I do not want to hear your conversation
egocentrism
about what groceries you need to bring home.
I was literally in a store the other day, walking next to this guy who was chatting on the phone about some business deal he was doing. And he gave me the side eye like I was going to steal his idea.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm like,
dude,
this is a public place.
How dare you
turn off your damn phone?
There you go. There you go. All right, so you put this on. You can't hear it. It'd be good that everybody would get one of these that's in public space areas. Well, let's talk about, since it's a Kickstarter, we got to go and do some clarifications here. So so the device works to mute people's conversation. You can yell and scream. Nobody can hear you. What is the backers? How many backers have taken care of it? What's the price? And when is the expected shipping date of this device?
Well, they're right now sitting at 313 backers, which means they have exceeded their goal by quite a bit. They're right now sitting at about $68,000 of an $8,800 goal.
Okay.
Now, there are a couple of prices here. The big thing is you can get either a wired model or a wireless model.
Okay. What's the wired model? You're going to have that go into your phone then as a USB connection so that's how you're transporting your conversation?
Exactly, rather than using Bluetooth. So that's
it'd actually probably be better to do wired.
Maybe.
I would if I had one of these,
really
I'd
see
do
this
wired.
really catching on myself.
But,
okay. I mean,
I liked it. I want everybody else to have it.
It would be really nice if we were under masking protocols, but so many people get upset about the masking protocols that I think that might be a turnoff.
Okay. All right. So what's the price points here? The two price points.
So right now, both the wired and unwired are available in their super early bird. There's about 30 of each left. So if you're interested, hop on it now. The wired is $249. The wireless is $299. Personally, I don't think it really matters that much. I think the wired might be good if you are specifically looking for security, whereas the wireless is great for just, talking to friends and families and in public.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I have a better solution.
What's that?
Don't talk on your phone in public.
Okay. Now, has this company done a Kickstarter before, a crowdfunding project before?
This is actually the first one they've done. The gentleman who designed it and who's leading the Kickstarter comes from, as I said, an aerospace background. And he actually got funding from both Airbus and Onera, who are two very large players in the European market.
Okay, that's pretty good backers. The big question, I mean, those are pretty good.
What's the big question?
Well, at least they're not grounding their planes because
I don't know. This might be a good idea for awkward bathroom things.
Oh,
I mean, that too.
I mean, people talking while they're on the toilet.
Yeah,
that's really bothersome.
That is the thing. So you just put it on that way. It kind of sounds like
nobody knows you're carrying on a conversation while you're doing your business.
All right,
nobody knows on either side because
that's right. Because you could be, you wouldn't be in there making noise.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't have somebody saying, "Are you talking to me while you're on the toilet?"
Exactly.
All right, last most important question here, Gwen. Would you purchase one of these?
Honestly, I'm seriously considering it.
Okay.
I do enough travel, and I'm going to start doing more travel for work, that having this and being able to take calls based around cybersecurity in a secure manner sounds like a pretty good idea.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool thing. So my goal was, since CES started, I'm going to see if there's anybody else that has a project like this or anything else out there in the market with this Kickstarter, and I'm going to be kind of reporting back on that next week. So that's my goal, to see if somebody else has come up with a cone of silence while I'm talking on the phone. I can be as loud as I want. Those people hear it, but nobody else hears it. All right. Well, Gwen, we want to thank you so much for joining the show. It's always a pleasure. What was that, Odie?
Oh, well, I have a commenter saying that it would be nice in the cold, especially.
Yeah.
Because that way you're keeping your conversation private, but you're also keeping your face warm.
Oh, that's a good post.
Exactly.
That's a good point.
There's actually air vents, so you get a more direct flow of air, which is a little bit more comfortable for most people.
Okay, and the name of the product
will have heaters and massagers.
Well, actually, there's this massage thing for your eyes. Oh,
I'm just giving people all kinds of stuff.
All right, so Gwen, tell us, what is the name of this product again?
It's SkyTed. That's SKYTED. You can find it on Kickstarter, and you have until February 7th to place your order. So
SkyTed, like
not
Ted,
Skynet,
not Skynet. So Sky, SKY, and Ted, like the little,
like the bear,
the little bear. That's right. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining the show, Gwen. All right, it's always a pleasure to have you. We'll see you in a month from now.
Sounds good.
All right, that ends our Gadgets and Gear segment. Up next, we have This Week in Technology. So now will be a great time to enjoy a little whiskey on the side, as we'll be doing so during the break. You're listening to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm. See you in a few minutes. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, so you know what? We need people to start liking our social media pages.
If you like our show, if you really like us, we could use your support on Patreon.com.
Or is it Patreon? I think it's Patreon.
Okay, Patreon. If you really like us, you can.
And you say I'm the English guy?
Patreon.com.
I butcher the English language?
You know you butcher the English language.
Okay, so it's
all the time.
It's Patreon.com.
Patreon.com. If you really like our show, you can subscribe to Patreon.com and help us out.
Oh, and you can visit us on that Facebook platform. You know, the one that Zuckerberg owns?
The one that we always bag on?
Yeah, you can. We're on Facebook too.
Yeah, like us on Facebook.
Do you know what our Facebook page is?
TechTime Radio.
At TechTime Radio. Yeah. You know what? There's a trend here.
It seems to be that there's a trend, and that's TechTime Radio.
Or you can even Instagram with us.
And that's at TechTime Radio.
That's at TechTime Radio. Or you can find us on TikTok.
And it's TechTime Radio.
It's at TechTime Radio.
Like and subscribe to our social media.
Like us today. We need you to like us.
Like us and subscribe. That's it?
That's it. That's that simple.
And now, let's look back at this week in technology.
All right, in our Wayback Machine here, we're going to January 9th, 2009. Satoshi Nakamoto releases the very first version of what is now known as Bitcoin. Through a posting to the cryptograph mailing list, the pseudonym of Satoshi Nakamoto released the very first version of the Bitcoin software and launches the network of the decentralized peer-to-peer cryptocurrency. 6 days earlier, Nakamoto had generated the first block of 50 Bitcoins, now known historically as the Genesis block. Bitcoin has slowly but steadily gained momentum as its users appreciate that no one entity can control, manipulate, or deactivate the digital currency, along with it being a currency not owned by any country for private forms of payment. One Bitcoin today is valued at 46,000 American dollars. It's really interesting about this. I went back to take a look at some Bitcoin history. Back in the day when Bitcoin cryptocurrency was just coming on out, there was a tournament event for this video game series. Essentially, everybody that entered in and did not win first, second, and third place received one Bitcoin. But the winners got a $50 gift card to Amazon, $25 gift card to Amazon.
Wow, that's a participation trophy I could get behind.
And a $15 gift card. Just think if you won this gaming tournament event, and you win that Amazon gift card, and instead of being the loser and getting one Bitcoin, right now you'd be sitting at 46,000 American dollars.
Yeah, how about that?
There you go. All right, well, that was This Week in Technology. If you ever wanted to watch some Tech Time history with over 180 weekly broadcasts spanning 4+ years of videos, podcasts, and blog information, you can visit us at techtimeradio.com to watch our older shows and join our Tech Timers Facebook group. You can talk with us live. We'll take care of your technical issues. You can talk with Gwen on there. Everything you need to do by joining the Facebook group Tech Timers. Now we're going to go to commercial break, but when we return, we have our Mark's Mumble Whiskey Review and our Technology Fail of the Week. See you after the break.
Hello, my name is Arthur, and my life's work is connecting people with coffee. Story Coffee is a small batch specialty coffee company that uses technology to connect people to each product resource, which allows farmers to unlock their economic freedom. Try our Medium Roast Founder Series coffee, which is an exotic bourbon variety that is smooth, fresh, and elegant at storycoffee.com. That's STORI coffee.com. Today you can get your first bag free when you subscribe at storycoffee.com with code TechTime. That's STORI coffee.com.
The segment we've been waiting all week for. Mark's Whiskey Mumble.
Boom, 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 boom. What a day today is.
All right, what is today?
Today is a day Nathan celebrates.
I think it's National Nerd Day, isn't it?
It's pretty close.
Okay.
It's not just any National Nerd Day.
What is it?
It's National Word Nerd Day.
Oh, a National Word Nerd Day. Okay.
So Nathan celebrates by mispronouncing any word he can get a hold of?
He's trying to improve himself.
Hey, now I got a bunch of 2-syllable words got done today.
Well, you got a lot. You got a lot of words mispronounced.
Okay, all right.
A lot of them.
Well, let me tell you a little bit about the day. So we celebrate National Word Nerd Day by being enthusiastic about our favorite words and the importance of language in our culture. Whether you always know what to say or you often end up with the foot in your mouth.
Oh,
hint, hint.
There you go.
Ooh, plethora of words.
A plethora of
words.
feet in your mouth.
Reminds me of
words
a Star Trek
are
episode.
essential to our success and progress. That's why Nathan keeps improving himself.
There you go.
National Word Nerd Day gives us a chance to learn new words, use some old ones, and maybe even borrow them from someone else.
There you go. Okay, all right. Well, tell us a little bit more about this whiskey.
Yeah, so as we discuss Michter's, its name has an interesting word nerd story.
Okay.
So in the 1950s, Lou Foreman, who had a liquor distribution business, took over the distillery, known at the time as Abraham Baumberger and Sons, and changed it to its current name of Michter's. He came up with it using a portmanteau of his two sons' names, Michael and Peter.
Okay.
That sweet name stuck and known by that name still today.
That's kind of cool. Okay.
And did you notice how I threw in portmanteau?
I did. That's a word nerd day.
There we go.
He didn't know what that meant.
I did not. I just over.
It's when you take multiple words
and put them
like
together?
smog is a good example. Smog is a mash of fog and
smoke.
There you go.
Very good.
Oh, come on.
Now, in terms of the actual whiskey, Michter's 10-year Kentucky Straight Rye 2023. Well, if you love rye or even bourbon, this is a must-try. You may not be able to find a bottle at a reasonable price, but don't let that stop you.
Okay.
Find a pour at a local bar, sit back, and enjoy this delicious dram. Anyone who truly appreciates whiskey will give this one a big thumbs up.
All right. Well, I liked it to begin with already. I'm almost done with it.
Mike's done with it. I'm done with it.
Mike's going to do a second
I've had a
pour.
refill already. You just didn't see it.
During the commercial break. All right. Well, Mark.
Yes.
Thanks for that mumble.
You're welcome.
Paris.
As always, whiskey and technology. What a great pairing. Just like CES and a Las Vegas show. All right, now let's get.
That's not bad. That's technology related.
Yeah, but if you go to those CES, you always
better
do
than
the Las
forks
Vegas
and
thing.
spoons and other weird things.
Well, you know what? Let's get ready for our
Copy and paste.
Hold on. I haven't
We
done
are
that
out
one
of
yet.
time. Congratulations. You're a failure.
Oh. I failed, did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
All right. Speaking about this week's technology fail, it comes to us from Comcast, Mike's favorite internet company. Comcast customers' information leaked after company is hacked. On November 16, 2023, Comcast discovered threat actors had access to its internal systems and accessed Xfinity customers' information of 35.8 million people. They notified the federal law enforcement and conducted an investigation into the nature of the scope of the incident, and on November 16, 2023, it was determined that the information was likely acquired, said Comcast. Now, on December 6th, though, 2023, Comcast determined that the data breach exposed customers' account information. Here's what they got, including usernames, hashed passwords, so that means your password.
Great.
It also exposed names, contact information, last 4 digits of your social security number, date of birth, and your secret questions and answers to that questions for all of its customers. According to the regulatory filing with the Office of Maine Attorney General, Comcast disclosed that the Comcast data breach in the company has notified the victims via email or through the news media, or they could find it on its website. They actually don't even notify this. So you have to actually go to the news media to find out that all of your information. So if you use like your mother's maiden name as a deal, or your best friend's name, or your pets, all that's hosed now. And
you know
any
what
other
I've
service
learned
has that. Yeah,
doing the show.
What's that?
Is that none of this stuff matters.
It doesn't. You might as well just tell everybody what they are.
Might as well not have passwords, secret words, secret questions. Somebody's going to hack into it and get that information.
Like our guest that we had on during the December time frame, coming from New Zealand, she said the best thing to do is to come up with some crazy password, and every single time you need to log into your account, just do a reset password for them, and then do that one time when you need to log in so that you can be more secure.
Yeah,
I
no
totally
kidding.
agree with that. Yeah. All right, well, we're going to head out to our last commercial break here. When we return, we still have Mike's mesmerizing moment and our Nathan Nugget of the Week. So sit back, raise a glass. You're listening to Tech Time Radio with Nathan Mumm.
How to See a Man About a Dog. It combines darkly comic short stories, powerful poems, and pulp fiction prose to create a heartbreaking and hilarious journey readers will not soon forget. Read How to See a Man About a Dog, Collected Writings, for free with Kindle Unlimited. Ebook available on Kindle, print copies available on Amazon The Bookpository, and more.
This is Mike's mesmerizing moment, presented by Story Coffee. Visit storycoffee.com. All right, Mike, here's my question for you. What 2024 technology will provide an advancement on the psychological level?
I don't know if I can answer that question, because typically there's an inverse relationship with technological advancement and psychological advancement.
Okay, well, explain that to me.
Meaning like the Google effect.
Okay.
Right? The Google effect has affected our ability to memorize.
Yep.
Because we don't need to memorize as much as we used to, so we stop using that. Google has taken that away from us.
Kind of like your contact list in your phone?
Yeah.
Right?
We don't need to memorize it anymore, so because we have everything in our phones until we have a blackout or something and we completely freak out. So with the advent of AI, I think we're going to see a lot more of this sort of lazy production value where people are going to rely on AI to answer their emails and to do school papers and despite all the problems with cheating.
Do you know what I find? Speaking of AI, I totally agree with you. And I'm not in the same space. The only thing I think AI is now becoming good for is I never understood memes really well. But I do understand AI pictures. And every AI picture you create has massive problems with it. I now love to just type in stuff and have AI create a picture, and all of a sudden you got a fist coming out of a guy's mouth, and you got 4 ears on a guy, and you got glasses, and then one guy's got an eye that's red, and then
So because of AI, you now understand memes?
Well, I'm starting to figure them out.
I
find them funny. I found the AI pictures funny.
You have become a meme.
I become a meme.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, you're a meme that don't understand memes.
That's memes that don't understand it.
There you
go. Okay, well, thank you very much for that, Mike.
You're welcome.
All right, let's go to our Nathan Nugget.
This is your Nugget of the Week.
All right, so Bleeping Computers, that is essentially Gwen Way's favorite site, it came up with the biggest cybersecurity and cyber attack stories of 2023. And guess what? They rated 13 different items that were essentially their top stories. We're going to go through this list really quick and see how many of those were covered last year on our show. The biggest cybersecurity breach, according to Bleeping Computers, was a company called 23andMe data breach. The 23andMe data breach essentially had credential stuffing attacks that led to major data breach, exposing the data of 6.9 million users and genetic code. This was covered on TechTime Radio. The next one, number 13, hosting firm says it lost all of its customer data after a ransomware attack. 2 Danish hosting providers were forced to shut down after a ransomware attack and encrypted the majority of their customers' data. We missed that one, but we'll continue on with number 12. Sudan hacktivists show the DDoS attacks can impact the largest tech firms. We covered this on Tech Time. Essentially, Nick Espinoza talked about the hacktivist group known as Anonymous Sudan that took everybody's DDoS attacks down on their websites. Number 11, acoustic attacks steal data from keyboard strokes with a 95% accuracy. Essentially, we covered this story also regarding when you type on your keyboards, the ability for British universities with a trained deep learning model to find that information. Then, of course, we had number 10, PayPal accounts breach. We covered that on Tech Time. Dish Network goes offline for a cyber attack. We talked about that. We talked about GoDaddy hackers stealing the source code of information. The MGM cyber shutdown of their IT systems we covered. The Black Cat ransomware operation. Essentially, we did not talk about this because it was 100 EXI hypervision machines that essentially were using this OS layer on top of their standard machines. We missed that one. Bloomberg reported that there was a breach at Caesars we covered. Barracuda had a hacking thing we covered. And essentially, out of those 14, we got 11 of the 14 major stories that Bleeping Computers considered.
14 or 13? You keep saying 14.
Well, there was 14 that they added because there's 13 that they had, the top 13, but they included the security breach of the casino, and MGM was a different casino.
Oh.
So they included both of those. So it kept on changing between 14 and 13 because they threw it in there, but kind of lumped it as their casino area. So what that tells you is if you listen to Tech Time Radio, you're going to get the top story security breaches.
And then you're going to hate life more.
No, that's right. All right, now let's move to our pick of the day whiskey tasting.
And now our pick of the day for our whiskey tastings. Let's see what bubbles to the top.
All right, what are we tasting?
Today we are sipping on Michter's 10-year Kentucky Straight Rye 2023. It is from Michter's Distillery. It is a straight rye, 10 years old, 92.8 proof, undisclosed mash bill, and goes for about $180 MSRP.
All right, during the show, somebody asked you a question regarding something?
I had talked about it being a low rye, and they said, what is a low rye? Well, to be considered a rye, it has to be at least 51% rye. A lot of the ryes out there, especially from Indiana, are 95%. So if you are right around that 51, 55%, you're just barely legally a rye. That is considered a low rye.
All right, that's perfect. That's the way to go. All right, so are you giving this a thumbs up or a thumbs down, Mike?
I'm giving it a thumb up.
2 thumbs.
Low rye.
So you like the rye? Odie didn't taste any. So
no, but what did you like about it, Mike?
I liked it because it didn't have that harsh burn that ryes usually give me. The high ryes give me, and the taste is really good with a very nice finish.
Yeah, I like that smoky taste.
This is a rye that even bourbon lovers that generally don't even like rye would like, because I like a lot of even bourbons get up to almost 51% rye sometimes. So
All right. Well, guess what? Next week we're going to be talking about CES.
So, Nathan, thumbs up, thumbs
Nathan,
down.
Oh, I gave it a thumbs up. Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
He's been telling us that all day.
Yeah, it's thumbs up.
He
thumbs up,
started
thumbs
the
up.
show with it.
This is great. Yeah, this is fantastic. This may not make it back
It's
on
not
Mark's
it's not going to be on your shelf.
No, that's why I came in studio today to make sure my bottle comes back with me.
That's great. That's good. All right, next week, CES review. There are some crazy AI
There's
stuff
always
going
crazy
on.
AI stuff.
I can't wait to have it. We may have a robot person back on, your favorite life-size robot type of deal. So we're going to have that on. We're going to have our best of the best. Well, Mark, thank you so much for being here in studio. Odie, thank you for so much keeping us on track and not letting the wheels come off. Listeners, if you want to hear more from us, just visit techtimeradio.com and click on Be a Caller. And remember, this week, the science of tomorrow starts with the technology of today. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on Tech Time Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/techtimeradio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at Tech Time Radio, remember, mum's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.